touring. Like I just said, we just came back off tour.
Yeah.
You know, with Fifth, and we still touring. Still. And I do my own tours too for people. Oh, yo.
You see,
I do my own tours. I did tours in Canada. I did a tour across the whole Germany and the Swiss Alps. And that's why I don't care about the hate. Cause I'm like, I got the possibility to do my own tour. Like, something with Memphis Bleek. Memphis Bleek said to, Nori, Yayo said, Jay-Z didn't have us on tour like he did, or I eat my own halal. I eat my own halal too, if you want to say that. To Memphis Bleek, I just came off my last tour. All I'm saying is when you see Jay-Z in a setting, he never really, when he's doing a Beyonce show or whatever, you don't see Memphis Bleek on the stage and him being brought out.
Jim Jones totally lost it and went off on Tony Yayo during Memphis Bleek's own podcast. And the wildest part? Bleek doesn't even rock with Yayo like that. So everyone's asking, what's the real story here? Why's Bleek suddenly got beef with Yayo? And what pushed Jim Jones to explode in front of the world like that? This whole drama got messy fast. Let's break it down from Bleek's side, because that's the easier piece to understand. Memphis Bleek has been riding with Jay-Z since day one. We're talking family-level loyalty. That's Hov's little bro, no questions asked. Now Tony Yayo, he's been salty toward Jay for years. Dude went on record saying Jay-Z tried to block 50 Cent from doing the Super Bowl halftime show. And ever since then, Yayo's been holding on to that like it's personal. So when Yayo sat down with Shannon Sharpe, he didn't hold back at all. He straight up called Jay-Z a hater, saying he never helps people win, never puts anyone on, and only cares about himself.
You know, even if I'm doing the hype man shit with 50, he's bringing me out. I'm making money. I'm going to...
That's that man girl too. That's it. That's Hov's wife tour.
Yeah, that's Hov wife tour.
So I believe if Hov was out on his own, he would bring Bleek out. There is no need for him to bring Bleek in a situation where it looked like if this was last tour you're talking about with the Cowboy Carter.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, because I look at Bleek as a loyal guy, like I'm a loyal guy to Jay. But I look at like Fifth, my guy Hervé, one day we had TRL. And it's the young gunners there.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to him about it. And Hervé says loud, you don't gotta worry about nothing. You got 50. Jay-Z doesn't do nothing for these guys like 50 does. And Hervé, I think he worked with them too. But he said that to me and that always stuck in my head. Rest in peace to him.
Then came the line that set everything on fire. Yayo said, look at Memphis Bleek. He not shining, he not winning. Jay-Z don't take care of him like 50 take care of me. Boom. That line had the internet shaking. Fans went crazy. Bleek's camp felt disrespected, and suddenly everyone had something to say. I mean, let's be real. Arguing about who's got the better sugar daddy is insane. Real ones don't move like that. You can't brag about another man's money and expect respect. At the end of the day, you can't feed your family off another man's plate. And Bleek wasn't about to let Yayo forget that, because when that man stops feeding you, your whole crew goes hungry. So this whole 50 takes care of me more than Jay takes care of Bleek talk? That's just wild. Real men handle their grind solo. They stand tall, build their own name, and don't brag about who's paying their bills. If your homie helps you level up, that's love. Salute it and move on. But flexing about who spoils you more? That's just strange energy. Yayo tried to spin it like Jay-Z's the selfish one, always moving for himself, never lifting others up. But let's be honest, the way he said it made it sound like a full-on brag about being looked after, like, what? That's a crazy hill to die on, especially in hip-hop where pride and independence are everything. Fans weren't vibing with that at all.
To say, I seen something Tony Yayo said, Hov don't look out for me like 50 look out for him.
Oh, word? He said that?
I just want to clear that up. Hov don't have to.
All right.
You know what I mean?
All right. Okay.
I'm chewing a lie on my own.
Right.
If Hov look out, I'm telling you, I'll be up there.
Right.
So when y'all see me out here, that's the Blizzle budget. But back to you, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I just want to let niggas know Hov don't have to.
Right.
So when Memphis Bleek slid onto Drink Champs, he knew he couldn't stay quiet. He had to clear the air and protect his name. Bleek explained there was never real beef between him and Yayo before. They'd crossed paths, maybe even worked together a bit. But after those shady comments, the vibe shifted instantly. The room got cold. Not all-out war, but definite tension in the air. Bleek's tone said it all. He's not out here chasing drama, but he's definitely not letting anyone play with his name. And once Jim Jones jumped in, oh, things got hotter real quick. Even if Bleek didn't say it word for word, his message was loud and clear. Man, forget Tony Yayo. Straight like that. But here's the twist. Tony Yayo has always been the kind to call out anyone he thinks doesn't look out for their crew. And this time, he aimed his mouth at the wrong one. That same loud energy, that keep it real or don't speak at all attitude, is exactly what lit up Tony Yayo's next war. And this time, it's with Jim Jones. Yeah, the same Dipset legend.
Between me and other niggas, right? Stack Bundles, one of my favorite rappers in the world.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Right?
Riot
Squad.
Rest in peace.
Far Rock.
Yep.
You understand? Jim Jones, he had Stack Bundles, he had Max B. I looked at it like, great. You know, Stack's Bundles had a portion was still in the hood. No disrespect to Jim Jones. Fifth had me in Battery Park. I could walk out that barefoot.
Get the socks.
See, that's when a nigga love you, nigga. Get the socks, nigga. Sneakers Dior, nigga. But I'm walking out there barefoot. That's when you know a nigga love you, boy. Because he making sure you don't get your shit split.
People thought all that old school tension was dead, but nope. Yayo brought that chaos right back to life. Everybody remembers those wild G-Unit versus Dipset days. 50 Cent, Cameron, Jim Jones. Man, that was pure madness back in the mid-2000s. Diss tracks flying, street tension thick, egos clashing every week. The whole culture was locked in, waiting to see who'd strike next. Folks swore that beef was buried deep, but turns out, it was just sleeping. Now, fast forward to the last couple of years, Yayo and Jim been throwing shots again, and this time it's not about music, it's personal.
Because you go back to 134, anywhere, Baisley, right, Brooklyn, phew, shit get split. Once I got shit, niggas shot my shit up. Bentleys and all that. Y'all can get that sneaker, just toss that over there. My shit's official. You know what I'm saying? Yo, look, but nigga put me in position. Rest in peace of Stack, but Stack got killed in the project with a Porsche.
Yeah.
Nigga, come on, nigga, I'm from the hood, nigga. Y'all niggas thought, nigga. I done been around the Black Justice and seen the Preems and all that, nigga. The E-Money bags, all that, nigga. The younger niggas under that.
When Tony Yayo pulled up to Math Hoffa's show My Expert Opinion, he dropped a straight-up bomb that shook hip-hop to its core. Yayo said that Jim Jones left Stack Bundles in the hood to die. Yeah, he said that out loud. No sugarcoating, no filter. You could feel the weight in his voice. It wasn't just gossip, it was pain. Yayo said, "This is the difference between me and other dudes, right?" Stack Bundles, one of my favorite rappers in the world. Rest in peace. Rest in squad. Rest in peace, Far Rock.
So with everything you
Maserati Fox. Real nigga, huh?
So with everything that you saw, what would you change?
I just pray to God every time I leave the house.
But what would you change?
Change what?
Pass the cup.
I heard you talk about all the shit you went through, all the shit niggas is still going through.
What
Yeah,
God,
one of them cups
listen,
just
what
for the
God
ashtray.
got planned for you is planned for you, brother. God already knows what's planned for you in life.
God planned for you to come here and spaz on y'all niggas tonight.
I spaz?
I'm just saying, it was a plan.
I do be on some Hollywood shit in Europe. I gotta stop.
Yeah.
Something like, yo, stop talking about Europe. I don't, like, when you come here, you gotta deal with
Don't treat
niggas.
Vlad like that, bro. See how niggas is? See how
No, I
niggas
had
is,
nothing to do
bro?
with Vlad.
He ain't treat Vlad
do with
like
Europe.
this. He
I
ain't
do
treat
big
Vlad
shit.
like
You have to
this,
do with
my
Europe.
nigga.
Then he went on to remind everyone that Jim had both Stack Bundles and Max B under his wing. And still, Stack was out there in the same hood even after getting Buzz. That hit deep, like a gut punch. Then Yayo switched it up and made it clear how 50 Cent treated him differently, with real loyalty, real protection, real love. And before it got too disrespectful, he added, "No disrespect to Jim Jones." But by then, the streets were already fired up. Yayo painted the picture vividly. He said, "Fifth had me in Battery Park. I could walk out there barefoot and still get fresh socks. That's when a man really loves you." He explained that 50 always made sure he was good, made sure he never had to go back to those blocks where things could turn deadly in a second. "'Cause you go back to 134 or anywhere in Brooklyn," he said, "you get your stuff split." That's real street talk. Protection that meant something. He even told a wild story about how 50 had his back after he got shot and his car got lit up. "They shot my whip up, bent the lease and all that," Yayo said. Fifth went, got the sneakers, tossed him over my car. Official. That line showed just how deep their loyalty ran. Then Yayo hit everyone with a gut punch. Rest in peace, Stack.
Let's say this. The problem is, when she was on the show, she had said that she had heard about you wasn't giving Stack money, but people don't know that when Stack asked you for the bread, you were going to the bank. I think the bank was closed. Something happened because me and Bino talked about it. I remember being there, and you was going to give him
more money after the money he spent because we was on tour. He like, geez, I spent all that tour money, geez, on Pop, a bucket. Whatever he did, brought another Porsche, BMW. He like, yo, Pop, geez, you said a closed mouth don't get fed, geez, I'm Pop, geez, I'm hurting.
It's a fact.
And when I told him, I said, yo, go get 25 grand from the bank tomorrow. He like, oh, yo, what's up with that Wrangler truck? I'm like, I left that shit in Brooklyn. I don't even want that shit. I don't even know what block it's on. Matter of fact, it's by the car shop where I got the Maserati from. He like, you let me get that, geez. I'm like, go take it. You probably got to get a new key. He like, oh, I'm going to go get that tomorrow, geez. You different, geez.
But Stack got killed in the projects with a Porsche. That one sentence silenced the whole room. It painted a heartbreaking picture of a gifted rapper trapped in the same danger he was fighting to escape, while his so-called boss was living it up miles away. The fans were split down the middle. Some said Yayo was just being real, showing what true loyalty should look like in this game. Others said he went too far, crossing a line by bringing up a dead man's tragedy just to take a shot at Jim Jones. Either way, one thing was clear. That interview set off a spark no one saw coming. According to Yayo, Jim Jones didn't hold down Stack bundles the way he was supposed to. And that lack of love, that neglect, might have played a part in what happened to him. That's a heavy accusation, not just rap gossip. It's the kind of statement that digs deep into both men's legacies. Two brothers who once stood side by side in the same trenches, now torn apart by blame and pain. And for those who don't know, Stack Bundles wasn't just any rapper. He was one of Jim's day ones, a star from far Rockaway, Queens, with unmatched charisma, wild energy, and bars that could set a whole room on fire. Jim Jones really did take Stack Bundles under his wing, signed him, brought him on tour, and showed him how the game worked. He gave him that look, that access, that big brother guidance. But even after all that, the whispers never stopped. For years, people been saying Jim didn't do enough. That maybe, just maybe, Stack's story could have had a different ending if he'd been pulled out of the hood sooner. See, Stack lost his life in the same neighborhood he grew up in. The same blocks that raised him also took him. That loss still cuts deep through hip-hop today. And that's where the story gets real complicated.
We all know the rest of the story.
Why do you think that people have this misconception of what happened? Why do you think even her? Why do you think that? Where did that come from?
Nobody likes to hear the truth.
Because we were there. Bino get mad all the time. And he gets offended. And he was one of the people that called me. He was like, that's not true. They think that, what they think is that Stack asked you, he told you he wanted to leave. They said that Stack told you he wanted to leave, he wanted to move, and you didn't move him out. But that's not true.
You want to hear that story? All right, for Stacks and them, I was about to buy Stacks, the kid Max and Melly, a whole brownstone in New Jersey. None of them want to leave the hood.
Because some folks feel Jim should have done more to save him, while others say that's unfair. Sometimes, no matter how much love you show, how much guidance you give, some people just won't leave their comfort zone, even when it's killing them. I've seen it myself. You hand someone the blueprint, invest your time, money, and heart, and they still don't move. It hurts when you want success for someone more than they want it for themselves. And maybe that's what it was between Jim and Stack. A mix of love, loyalty, and frustration all tangled together. But the streets, they don't care about nuance. They saw it differently. Critics came for Jim hard, accusing him of taking Stack's whole swag, the clothes, the style, the talk, the confidence, and running with it once Stack was gone. They said Jim turned that Far Rockaway flavor into his own brand. And honestly, Stack Bundles was that guy. The potential, the aura, the talent. He had star power written all over him. If life hadn't been cut short, no question. He'd be sitting front row at Paris Fashion Week right now, iced out, styling next to ASAP Rocky, and showing the world what real New York energy looks like. That's how ahead of his time Stack Bundles really was. Pure drip, pure confidence, pure New York energy. The man had flavor before the world even caught up to it.
I was not about to waste my money, and that was what I offered them. I went shopping for the shit and all that type of shit.
Yeah, we remember that, right, Bass? We remember that. Shout out to Bass. I remember the conversation.
And I'm like, yo, you bugging. You want to, like, you can go to the hood every day, but you're going to be living in Jersey. Like, you're going to be living better than, like, you heard? And you don't have to worry about paying for no rent or nothing like that. I'm just trying to get you niggas out the hood. Melly, too. Melly ended up getting shot, right? Like none of these would listen, and everything that happened.
But when people started whispering that Jim Jones stole the sauce and left Stack behind, things turned ugly. Fans started questioning loyalty, and suddenly, the love between them became a full-blown debate. Jim, though, he's always stood his ground. He's denied every bit of that talk. Jim said time and time again that he tried to help Stack, gave him money, gave him opportunities, put him on stages, took him on tour. But Stack just couldn't walk away from the streets. And according to Jim, that's what hurt the most. Not that he didn't care, but that he couldn't save his brother from the life that took him too soon. You can see it clear as day. Every time someone says Stack's name, Jim's whole energy shifts. His voice tightens, his eyes change. That's pain that never healed.
That you know can happen in the hood end up happening and shit like that. You know what I mean? But everything to try to protect them for what I know could have happened to them, I tried. You heard? From getting all of his cars to getting all these, everything. You can imagine everything. Private jets, Miami, hundreds of thousands in one weekend, 2 tour buses at Atlanta. Like, cannot front on how I had my boys moving. And I'm only talking about this because you was there, and you and Stacks were best friends, or Bino, couple others and like that. Other than I don't even talk to people about Stacks and what went on, but we was sending out. This was not on our level when we was moving, and no way.
Whether it's about that rumored $25,000, the GWA situation, or the endless theories fans keep bringing up, one thing stays the same. Jim feels that loss deep in his soul. So when Tony Yayo started talking about it publicly, Jim took it as straight-up disrespect. It wasn't just another rapper running his mouth, it was someone dragging a personal wound into the public eye. And that crossed a line. So when Jim finally sat down with Memphis Bleek and Yayo's name popped up, things got heated. Bleek tried to play it cool, play the mediator, but Jim? Nah! He unleashed everything he'd been holding in. He didn't sugarcoat a word, he snapped. Jim made it crystal clear. He's not starving, his crew's not starving, and this whole argument about who's got the better sugar daddy is ridiculous. The moment he spoke, the air changed. That calm podcast vibe disappeared, replaced with raw, heavy tension you could feel through the screen. It was like years of frustration and pride finally exploded. Live for everyone to see. Jim wasn't just defending his name that day, he was defending the memory of someone he loved like family. And the moment Stack Bundle's name got mentioned, that old Dipset fire roared right back to life. Suddenly, it felt like the early 2000s all over again. Harlem energy, pride, and pressure flooding the room. Viewers were left asking, is this just old wounds reopening? Or are we about to see a brand new rap war explode right before our eyes? As soon as the topic dropped, Jim flipped the switch. He went into full-on flex mode. He started talking heavy about his paper, his cars, his lifestyle, stacking up his success against Tony Yayo's like it was a scoreboard battle. He made sure everyone knew his team was shining, his money was long, and his hustle unmatched. But here's the twist. That wasn't even what Tony Yayo was saying in the first place. He never called Jim broke or downplayed his come-up. In fact, Yayo literally said, Jim good.
You know, me from the hood, so people look at Bleek and don't understand the business he's doing. They always look at Jay like, oh, yeah.
But that's why, that's why you got like Yayo talking about, Jay don't take care of I don't need Jay to go on tour.
You'll smoke hard coke,
Yo, chill.
You look like you need to be taken care of. You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene. You look like you need help. Tell your man 50 send you an ounce or something,
You do need
You
that
might
help.
need
That's
2
why-
ounces, nigga.
That's why
Paid
you
in full
looking to
movie,
see.
nigga. I got a G for every bump in your face, nigga. I promise you that, nigga.
That's
I
a
promise
fact.
you that, nigga.
That's why he worried about
Peon, you broke, nigga. You know
See?
I got it, nigga. What's
Don't-
up? The
ain't
bag
nobody-
is the bolsa.
Hey, yo.
Hey, Flea, where the bolsa at, Flea?
Let me finish that off. Ain't nobody taking care of over here, B.
His point was deeper. He was saying that the people around Jim didn't look like they were eating the same way he was. that his crew didn't seem up like their leader. And honestly, if Jim had caught that part instead of taking it like a money diss, this whole thing could have gone a completely different direction. But Jim wasn't trying to hear any of that, not a single word. He was in full defense mode, eyes burning with Harlem pride, ready to stand on business. You could see it. The body language, the tone, the tension. Jim felt disrespected to his core. Like Yayo was trying to play him in front of everyone. And one thing about Jim Jones, he don't let nobody clown him or his circle. That's a line you don't cross. So he clapped back hard, his voice cutting through the air. Ain't nobody feeding me! That was Jim drawing the line in bold, making it clear he's self-made, solid, and standing tall. No handouts, no middlemen, no mercy. I built this from the ground up, Jim shouted, his voice cutting through the room like a blade. He made it crystal clear. He's not living off anyone's plate. Not Jay-Z's, not 50 Cent's, not nobody's. That was Jim standing on pure business, letting the world know he carved his own lane, earned his own shine, and didn't need validation from no big names. But instead of cooling off after that powerful moment, Jim doubled down. He flipped the script on Tony Yayo, saying he's way too tied to 50, that he moves in 50's shadow and can't stand tall on his own. And that's when everything changed. The whole room went cold. That easy podcast vibe turned into pure tension. You could feel it, even through the screen. Memphis Bleek tried his best to keep things chill, tossing in quick comments, light jokes, anything to calm the fire. But Jim, he was gone. Emotions had taken full control. You could see this wasn't just about Tony Yayo anymore. This was years of built-up frustration exploding all at once. All the comparisons, the online whispers, the talk about him not taking care of his people, it all hit him at once. Jim had reached his breaking point. He was done letting folks play with his name. So he went off, talking about how he's rich, how he's solid, how he's self-made. He kept flexing, mentioning his cars, his jewelry, his numbers, the lifestyle.
Yo, nah, you good, my nigga. I fucking love it. They deserve it. They need to hear this shit, man, because they bugging out here. All these niggas worrying about who taking care of who. We take care of we. Ain't no who nigga. Take care of who, nigga. You nigga. Know who doing it. We live. We getting money.
Nigga. We take care of everybody. Nigga. We take care of each other. Nigga.
That's a fact, my G. But linking back up with you, Jim, we missed out on a lot of opportunity, bro, but we ain't gonna miss it out going forward. Nah, we need to put some pain together, bro.
Don't lie.
But here's the thing. That wasn't even the real issue. This wasn't about who's richer or flashier. This was about respect. And Tony Yayo? He wasn't backing down. Not even a little. Instead of going online to rant or drop a diss, Yayo hit back with a silent move that spoke louder than any words. He posted Jim's longtime rival, Max B, on his Instagram story. No words, no captions, just the image. That one move hit harder than a diss track. Fans lost it instantly. The internet went wild, comment sections on fire, timelines blowing up. Everyone knew exactly what that meant. It wasn't just a post, it was a message. Yayo basically said, "You talk respect? Here's your reminder." That single story shook the whole hip-hop world and reignited a beef nobody thought would ever spark again. The internet exploded. Timelines were flooded with arguments, reposts, and wild theories. Some people said Yayo was just being petty, while others swore it was pure chess, not checkers. Either way, that one post split the culture right down the middle. Jim's fans stood tall, saying he earned everything he's got, while Yayo's supporters clapped back, claiming he just exposed the truth that everyone else was too scared to say out loud. That post was like tossing gasoline onto a fire, and boom, the whole internet went up in flames. After Yayo dropped that Max B post, Jim Jones could not let it slide. You could literally feel the tension through your phone screen. See, Max B has always been a sensitive subject for Jim. That fallout between them still cuts deep even years later. So when Yayo brought Max into it, that wasn't trolling, that was a trigger. Jim wasted no time firing back. He went live, chest out, talking heavy. You could see it in his face. Pure Harlem pride. He told Yayo straight up, "Don't play with me. I've been outside for real." Jim made sure everyone watching knew. He's not one of those rappers who just talks tough online. He lives it, he breathes it, he's built for it.
Everything y'all niggas do, I don't do. I do the other thing. Everything y'all niggas go across the street that way, I'm going up. Holla at your boy. I do other things, man. I don't do what y'all niggas do. I don't do what niggas do. I don't watch niggas' money. I don't care. I just do what I do.
You could tell he felt disrespected. Not just by the Max B post, but by the way the internet started spinning Yayo's version of the story. That hit a nerve. Fans started lining up like it was 2005 all over again. Dipset versus G-Unit Round 2, comment sections turned into full-on war zones. Some people shouting, "Jim still the capo," while others fired back, "Yayo keeping it real." It was chaos, pure digital mayhem, memes flying, old videos resurfacing, and everyone taking sides like the streets never changed. Overnight, the internet turned into a battlefield, proving one thing for sure. This beef wasn't just rap history coming back, it was personal. Even the old heads from both sides started jumping in, posting cryptic messages, throwback photos, and old footage like they were getting ready for round 2 of that 2000s beef era. It felt like the streets were coming alive again. The nostalgia, the tension, the pride, all mixing together in one giant online storm. But here's the craziest part. Behind all the chaos, there was still a bit of truth in what Tony Yayo was saying. His message wasn't about flexing or trying to embarrass Jim Jones. It was about leadership, about how the people around you reflect the kind of man you are. Because at the end of the day, what good is being rich if your crew's still struggling? That question hit fans deep, and it had everyone debating what loyalty really means in hip-hop. Still, Jim wasn't trying to hear that one bit. He stood 10 toes down on his image, saying his team's solid, his money's right, and nobody around him is starving. He reminded everyone loud and clear. He's been putting people on for decades. From Bird Gang to the Lobby Boys, Jim's been opening doors, signing artists, and giving opportunities long before most of these rappers even got their first chain. Jim made it known he's not about to let anyone rewrite his legacy or question his loyalty. But Yayo? Oh, he kept the pressure coming. Slick with it, too. He started throwing subtle shade online, dropping cryptic captions, laughing emojis, and reposting old 50 Cent clips where Fifth talked about real loyalty. It was like Yayo was saying without words, "See? This is what true brotherhood looks like." And that right there, that hit Jim where it hurt. Because love him or hate him, everyone knows the bond between 50 Cent and Tony Yayo runs deep, decades strong through jail time, fame, and fallout. And that's something even Jim Jones couldn't deny. And one thing about Tony Yayo, he always stands behind his man. No matter how wild the situation gets, his loyalty to 50 Cent never wavers. But behind all this drama, there's something much deeper going on. Ego, loyalty, and pride all crashing into each other in real time. Jim's out here fighting to protect his image, his reputation, and his crew's name, while Yayo's standing firm on his truth, refusing to back down from what he believes in. This isn't just another rap beef. This is about legacy. About who really lives what they rap and who's just talking. And social media? It made everything 10 times crazier. Memes flying everywhere, fan edits showing old Dipset versus G-Unit clips side by side, interviews being replayed and dissected like it's a championship fight. Every comment section turned into a battle zone. Even DJ Academics had to chime in, saying this might be the most entertaining old-school beef hip-hop's seen in years. And honestly, he might be right. Because through all the chaos, one thing's crystal clear. This story is far from over. Both Jim Jones and Tony Yayo have pride, history, and fan bases that'll ride or die for them. And both have a lot to lose if they ever back down now. The real question is, will they keep this energy on wax, or is it gonna spill off the mic? Because if it does, the streets are gonna be watching every move, every post, every live session. One wrong word, one subtle shade, and boom. We might be witnessing the next chapter of the legendary G-Unit versus Dipset saga unfold right in front of us. Thanks for watching till the very end. Don't forget to like, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned. We'll be back with more wild hip-hop drama next time.